Welcome to the daily market outlook. We are about to check the charts and see what the market is offering us today. To start off, let's look at the DXY. So on the DXY, when we start with the weekly time frame, what we can see is that what price has what respected this high, and we believe we should see that high go on the weekly time frame. Currently, what we can see is that from there we've seen what the sell off to the downside. So when we jump to the daily time frame, what we can see is from that sell we've seen it sort of mitigate this zone to the side. We've seen it move to the upside and trap some sellers, and I believe what we've induced buyers. So with buyers induced, we should expect it to come back to the lows. So from here we should see what a sell off back to this lows. So I believe we could see what some sells back to this low for today's price action. So my direction for what the DXY is bearish, but we need to see what an inducement of buyers once again before we can see it. So probably this, then the sell off. So today's direction is bullish for EURUSD, GBPUSD, and AUDUSD. But if we start with gold on the weekly time frame, what we can see is that we are respecting this low, which has caused price to move to the upside. When we move to the daily time frame, we can see we moved to the upside, we came back to the lows, we trapped what some buyers and we induced sellers. So from there we are looking for what longs back to this zone where we what respected price, or this zone that would cause a sell-off. So we are looking to go back to that liquidity. When we move to the 4 hour, what we can see is that what after inducing sellers, price has what moved to the highs, respected the zone, and we've seen a sell-off once again. So we've induced sellers one more time, and we are looking for what an inducement, then the long move back to the liquidity. So I'm bullish with GBPUSD. I'm bullish with XAUUSD, but I'm waiting for what an inducement of buyers. Then I can frame what my longs back to the highs. On EURUSD, when we move to the weekly time frame, what we can see is that we are respecting the zone to the left, which has caused price to what come all the way to this low, and we've taken out this low. From there, after taking out this low, you can see that what this price action mitigated this zone to the left, which caused price to move all the way to the highs and causes break of structure. So from that break of structure, what we can frame out of this price action is what a sell-off, which has what trapped buyers and induced sellers. So from here we are expecting what, since sellers are induced, we are expecting it to move to the highs. I believe you can see price what reach this highs or this high also, because sellers are induced and it's like the continuation. Right now price is what's at these highs, move to the 4 hour time frame. We should what expect some sales, probably trapping the sellers, or price can what go up high and we see the sell, trapping sellers, and maybe from there we can look for the longs back to the all-time high, or let me see a higher time frame target, which is this. So for GBPUSD, starting with the weekly time frame, what we can see is that what we took this high and we are expecting the liquidity to the left, and that liquidity has caused price to what see the sell-off. We mitigated this zone to this side, which caused price to move to the upside. We trapped some sellers. From there we saw what the sell move, we've seen it what come back to the highs, trap some sellers again and induce buyers. So it is what the continuation back to the lows. So if we move to the daily, what we can see happen is that price has what taken out this low, causing a break of structure. So we would be looking for what an inducement, then what continuation back to this lows. But at the moment, for the daily time frame, for today's price action, I'll be looking for some bullish moves on GBPUSD. So if you go to the 4 hour, what we should expect is inducement, and you can see that right now we are in this zone. So probably you might take out this high, you might see a sell-off, have some trap, and we should be very careful when we are taking the longs back to this highs, because GBPUSD can easily what come back for this low. So it could be like this. So we should be careful with what this trade on GBPUSD. For AUDUSD, when we move towards the weekly time frame, what we can see is that what we are expecting this uh, high to the left, which has caused price to come all the way down, and what we are building liquidity at this zone, which is causing price to move to the upside. So if we move to the daily time frame, what we can see is that after price moved to the outside and took out some highs to the left, we saw the sell-off, which we can see is what is being respected by what this week, and we've seen the sell-off. So from there, I believe what we've induced sellers, and we should see what a continuation back to this high at the moment. If we go to the daily time frame, what we can see is that what AUDUSD is very bullish, and we would like to see what an inducement, then the continuation. So today we should just be patient with the pairs, let them show us the inducement, then we go long. So I believe somewhere around New York session we might maybe see a sweep of the lows, then the continuation back to the highs. So that'll be all for today's daily market outlook. Take care.